This is the one with the mannequin challenge.
An army of Yule Brenners.
Alien dummies.
A working-class misogyny B-plot.
A suitable alternative to visiting Madame Tussauds.
As some good old-fashioned tentacle porn.
Oh yeah, it's called Spearhead from Space. Here we go. We're embarking on a voyage all through time and all through space.
Countering Daleks, Thalan, Ood, and the Cybertronic race.
Sontarans look like taters and Silurians all have wonky scales.
And the Doctor has a TARDIS, we're reviewing all his tales.
Who back when?
Reviewing all of who there is.
Who back when? Subscribe and rate on iTunes, please. Episode by episode, we're trudging down this temporal road. Come join us on this odyssey. What other choice could there be than Who back when? Who back when? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode C051 of Who Back When, a Doctor Who podcast.
Or Doc Bath.
That's right. I am Ponkin, and joining me today in the Ponkin Enterprises studio is Nick.
Hey, when did we downgrade from towers?
What? Ponkin Towers?
Plaza. We were Plaza
Punk
for a
Plaza,
while.
Punk Plaza.
And then we were towers in my brain.
This
and
was
then
Punk Plaza pre-cohabitation.
see.
See? Today we are taking a look at Spearhead from Space, which is a legendary episode in so many ways.
And incredibly mistitled.
It's the first colour episode. It was entirely shot on film. It is the first episode featuring the third Doctor, played by Mr. Pertwee.
I like that it was all shot on film.
It was.
What does that mean?
It was shot on actual film stock.
What was the other stuff shot on?
I don't know, whatever TV, video thingies, whatever they shot on.
I'm full. This is my incredible naivete and or ignorance.
I can only tell you that this came straight from IMDb / and or TARDIS Wikia.
Because it sounded like other stuff was like etched on tablets, but now we're on film.
Yes, rolls of wax. Yeah.
Cool, okay.
Which is the reason that it looks a little bit different, and also why it is the only one of that era to arrive on Blu-ray and to, be enhanceable in that sense.
It is super cinematic.
Yeah. Did you like this one?
I did. I really, really did.
Yeah?
I really did.
Because you saw this quite recently. I saw this several weeks ago, and since then I feel like I've done nothing but WhatsApp propaganda your way. Like, oh my god, you got to check this out, it's amazing.
Yeah, maybe, but
you're going to splooge.
I mean, I'm sure if Podcast Land goes back and listens and looks at our various stats, I'm more of a contrarian. So actually, you probably pushed me the other way into hypercritical mode, but actually this was pretty badass.
Alright, shall we jump into a bite-sized chunk of Who? Time for us to synopsize,
clarify and summarize.
So take a view
and grab a brew
and listen to this overview, this free-for-all.
We like to call a bite-sized chunk of Who. Bite-sized chunk of Who.
There's a new Doc in town and he's staying for a while. And coincidentally, just as Pertwee's second Doctor arrives on Earth, so does a shower of quaffles.
Also, there are autons, and apparently Madame Tussauds relies on an industrial plastic puppet maker. Beaskow, over, you are welcome. Yes, you are. Okie dokie, do you want to start us off? You look like a man on a mission.
Well, let's just start with the title.
Spearhead from
I
Space?
was just waiting at some point, there will be multiple spearheads, not just this one fleeting 2-second, reference in the first bit of the first episode. Why are some of them so blindingly obvious that they ruin the fucking serial, like Tomb of the Cybermen? And why of them are so obfuscated that you couldn't, if I was just like, oh yeah, Spearhead from Space to a friend.
It's alliterative, it has a great harmony. No, it's lovely. I think it's a great title. Also, could you maybe at a stretch say that the Doctor is the Spearhead from Space? He's from space. He's spearheading a whole new era of unit investigations.
No, you cannot.
I just did.
The better title was, apparently the working title for this was Facsimile, which makes so much more sense.
Perfect sense.
And is much nicer to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, that annoyance aside, let's jump in with the appearance of Pertwee. Let's just get that out of the way.
The appearance, as in the TARDIS materializes and he just flops out of it like a flaccid penis.
Into Epping.
Yes, Epping Forest. Yeah, it was fine. Perfectly happy with that. We have a similar scenario echoed in New Who with Tennant in the Christmas Invasion.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Super duper similar.
And much better, I think.
What, it's better with Tennant?
It's better with Pertwee.
Oh, I see. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, much better, because it wasn't that anything hinged on him waking up. It's just that this is part of the process. And that was kind of cool. And him recognising Lethbridge Stewart was...
That was a wonderful scene.
So good.
You could see it coming a mile away.
Yeah,
absolutely. But still, it's one of those things that you want to see on screen. Even if it's, oh, great, I know what the punchline is, but I want someone to tell that joke anyway.
But I really like the lead up, the doctors and the
Did you enjoy
angry.
Did you enjoy the whole bit where the doctor's just soloing away in the hospital?
Yeah,
I loved that shit.
Really love that because that's
he has a shower, he sings, he's hiding stuff under his pillow, he's looking for his ring. Great stuff.
I loved the like I said, the physicians being baffled. And giving us the first iteration of the two heart.
Yeah, we've got the two hearts. We also have
physiology.
By the way, they took a blood sample. There's a hospital in Epping that has Gallifreyan blood.
Shit, I didn't even think of that.
Like, what are we going to do with that? Wrap your brain around that for a second.
We would do something stupid like put it in a sheep. Like, that would be our fucking thing.
I feel like that's another one of those items. Like, we had Hartnell's tooth in the Wild West. We have Pertwee's blood in whatever, 1970s Epping, or late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
And we get Tennant's hand for a little bit. We have Tennant's hand.
And Tennant's hand actually turns out to be important.
Exactly. But sure, he gets it back, but there's a huge chunk of time when he doesn't have his hand, right? So at some point, we could write something, or we could maybe see a future episode of Doctor Who where, and by the way, Drew and I were thinking about this for the whole audiobook thing. Spoiler alert, like, why does no one go back and grab that vial of blood from Epping? The Master, he should have like one of those metal detectors you see in cartoons. People are walking around on the beach looking for treasure. Yeah. Why isn't the Master equipped with a tooth detector walking around,
Why doesn't someone go back and make like Gallifreyan blood pudding?
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
I look forward to this book.
Okay, can I say something else about this episode?
Mm-hmm.
For several episodes of Who Back When, several reviews now, I've been saying, I remember Spearhead from Space, and I'm really looking forward to reviewing it.
Do you remember it?
It turns out I was thinking of a different episode. There was one scene in particular where I was just like, oh man, I can't believe it. It's going to be a cliffhanger scene. I'm so looking forward to that cliffhanger. Oh, I guess it wasn't at the end of episode 1. No, I guess it wasn't at the end of episode 2 or 3. What, they can't end the show? Fuck, it wasn't this serial. So yeah, it's a
Do you even know which one it was?
Yeah, and it's okay, so before, let's turn this into a circular reference kind of thing. Before you pressed record, you were telling me this is the episode with Yul Brynner, because in your mind, the Auton looks like Yul Brynner. I took that to mean, because Yul Brynner was in Westworld playing an android.
The movie.
Yeah, Westworld the movie, and he there's that scene where his face opens and you see the robot inside, so to speak, his innards. You were thinking of
Yul Brynner and the King and I.
A very different iteration of Yul Brynner. But the scene that I thought that I remembered from Spirit from Space is exactly like Yul Brynner and Westworld's, because there's a cliffhanger in some Auton serial where you think that you've been interacting with a human up until now, but then he falls down, or she maybe falls down a little hill, and then there's an explosion and the face pops off and you realize, fuck, there's an android there.
Oh.
Exactly.
So we're going to, at some point, your nostalgic...
Spoiler for the future. Yeah.
We'll kick in.
And I thought this was it. No, instead we got John Pertwee showering.
I super hope this exists, otherwise you've just been making shit up for yourself for like 20 years.
It's very possible. I reckon it's probably maybe it's a Tom Baker episode. Oh, I don't know. Someone in Podcast Land will know this. S-Gamer, I'm looking at you. Okay, let's carry on.
Okay, units.
Units.
So unit are front and center.
Yeah.
They're the apparatus, the infrastructure, they're the driving force here.
Yeah.
How do we feel about this? As a device?
I love it, and this is what we're going to get.
As a framing for the series.
Most of Pertwee, or at the very least the start of Pertwee. While he's landlocked, he does nothing but, collaborate with Unit.
So, I feel like colour television was lost on Unit. Just all khaki. All khaki on khaki. Let's get khaki suits. Why? We've got khaki combat uniforms. No, let's get a khaki tie. There's no real need for this.
Did you also feel like maybe either they weren't used to working with colour, or they weren't used to working with whatever film stock they were using? I don't know the technicalities, but that something drastic had changed in the way that the show was being produced, that the first episode and a half looked a little naff. Like it was just oddly framed at times.
No, see, this reminds me of 70s movies.
But it looked great after that. It looked fantastic. It's just like the beginning, the first episode in particular is just like, oh, wow. Really? Wow.
I don't know. They all felt very, very vaguely comforting to me. And the initial tete-a-tete with Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart and Dr. Liz Shaw.
Yeah.
What?
Miss Liz Shaw.
No.
Yeah, this is one of my notes. She is Miss Shaw. She is so very clearly a doctor or possibly professor. I think a doctor.
She is a doctor.
But she is constantly referred to as Miss Shaw.
I'm sure they refer to her as doctor. Or at
Maybe
least in my
maybe
head, she's also Dr. Liz Shaw.
Oh, yeah, in mine as well. But I swear to God, everyone refers to her as Miss Shaw.
All right, well, fuck the 70s.
I know.
Dr. Liz Shaw, that was sumptuous. That tete-a-tete with the, you know, him explaining that there have been...
And the brig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the brig. And what was interesting about this, and what interesting about her as a companion as it goes forward, is the really healthy skepticism for a scientist.
Yeah. And it was her that I was thinking of when you and I had our last conversation about companions, and you were saying, well, I think you said the intellectual peerage, and you were referring to Zoe. It was Liz that I was thinking of. Yes, that definitely happens again. And it does. And
she's better than Zoe in that.
Oh, in so many ways.
That's the
right?
idea that, like I said, intellectual peerage, skepticism, all those stuff. Because actually, up till now, what we've had is these naive companions that need to be taught, you know, and in that sort of way.
Yeah.
But she actually doesn't give a shit. Like she needs proof at every level.
She doesn't even want this job.
No.
I mean, I guess she kind of wants the job the second she realizes, turns out there's life elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm definitely in for this. You know, it's Will Smith in Men in Black. Are you going to take the job, or are you going to be, you know, elsewhere?
I really like that she's just like, I need proof, and it's like, well, this happened, and here's one fun thing, and it doesn't explode her mind. She's like, okay, I'm going to need further proof.
Yeah, peer review, please.
yeah. All right, okay, here are some aliens, but that doesn't corroborate the fact that you had earlier aliens. They are different aliens.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't buy into the whole Doctor mythos the second the Brigadier, you know, shares it with her. Yeah. No, it's fantastic. I love it. She's really, really good. At times, she's a bit too snarky for my taste. I will say that.
I have one mental note, though.
Okay.
As an incredibly smart scientist and all those sort of things, she gets very tired at 5 a.m. when the doc is making his incredibly crude EMP or whatever the fuck it is, and she goes, "Oh, it's 5. The whole world must be asleep." It's like, that's not how 5 a.m. works, you dick. Like, who wrote that line?
Not a scientist.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
Or in anything.
Or anyone who knows exactly. Someone who lives on a flat Earth.
Anywho.
Let's have a chat about the Autons and how they are being made. Because there are a few things that maybe strike me as a little odd.
Okay.
Is this just a series of coincidences? So we have, first of all, the aforementioned Spearhead, which is a bunch of space gonads. They land in the forest.
Yes.
And they are bits of Nestine energy?
Consciousness, I'm going to assume.
Is it? But the Nestine consciousness needs these... One of them is like the control something. They're bits of intelligence or bits of it...
They're bits of consciousness, I think.
Right.
Because they do say that in here is a thing that can think, and then they're like, oh, but it's not physical, so it's not sentient. It's like, that's not what that fucking means.
No, exactly.
And
where's that healthy skepticism you were just talking about?
Well, she's unraveling, isn't she, already? I liked her still. That might have been the Doctor. But I think there is bits of Nestine consciousness.
Okay.
But
do we not also have Nestine... All right, so if we look at how Autons are portrayed in New Who and how they were portrayed in... we did at least one audiobook with Autons as well. I can't remember what it was called now. Brand New Town? Can't remember. Whatever. The...
Brand New Town.
It's probably like Brave New Town.
I like Brand New Town. It's Brand New Town in space.
Somehow that feels relevant to the plot. It was like a copy of it. Oh, whatever. Brave New City? I don't know. Whatever. Future Punk. Bing bong. Future Punk in here. That would be Brave New Town. Obviously. Bing bong. Thanks, future me. That we have the Nestine consciousness as this alien energy that takes on this gloopy, gloppy shape and is able to control plastics. Yeah. And occasionally you will have Autons that are separated into two, I think. You have the actual just like mannequins that move around. They're being controlled by the consciousness. And then sometimes you have an Auton that has a Nestine, I can't remember if it was called the Nestine spark or something inside it.
Sure.
And that gives it individuality. That gives it like a personality. And possibly, what's his face? Not Hibbert, the other one.
No, Hibbert, because Hibbert in the end turns out to be a Or is it the other one?
The other one, I think it is.
The other one is called Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum, right. So he, I guess, is one of those. So what is in the tank? Because we have, at the end, we have that tentacle porn scene, right? Where there's an alien inside. That alien is a Nestine.
Oh, yeah,
right?
they talk about this, I think. I think Channing talks about this where, he says the facsimiles are much more advanced than the normal autons.
Absolutely. I mean, the facsimiles refer to the mannequins as autons.
Yeah.
As in something different. Like, oh, we'll send an auton.
But do you want to, actually, the real point here is that the Nestine plan of this whole serial is the weakest point.
What is the Nestine's plan?
Quite, yeah. They have the one throwaway line is when
we're going to replace...
when Channing Tatum starts monologuing.
Is that...
And he says... Well, I say monologuing, it's really short. And he says that we've been colonizing worlds for 1,000 million years.
Oh, wait, that's it?
That's it.
Oh, end of monologue.
End of plot.
That's not a monologue.
It's not, exactly.
That's a throwaway line. So, as I recall, Channing Tatum says something like, we are in the process of replacing all the world leaders.
Yeah.
With dummies, with plastic facsimiles, in order to take over the countries, in order to take over the world.
Yeah.
Then what?
That's it. It's the colonization.
Yeah, but then what?
But that's the thing. It's such a non-starter. It's like they just didn't care. What they needed to do is set up a platform for Pertwee to be cool, right?
Yeah.
Which they did. And I was not sad with that at all.
He did a great job.
But the Nestine consciousness and the Autons didn't have... So... That's what made the killing
I have so many questions here.
Yeah.
So if the Nestine if you're saying the consciousness, the intelligence is in the balls, what's the thing in the box? Is that a brainless, mindless, unconscious biological entity? Doesn't he say, I feel like Channing Tatum or possibly Hibbert says, singular or plural, I'm not sure, that the creature in there is being created for the consciousness. Like we are creating the best possible body under the circumstances.
That could be right. I don't know.
But if the consciousness hasn't even arrived, who's controlling Hibbert and Channing?
Also, clearly... You don't need it. What does this do for you?
I don't know. My note about the thing is, I love the Auton box with the anus in the window. It's like there's a squid doing Kegel exercises in there.
I just love the idea that we're this vast or like pooled hive intelligence. We have the ability to make sort of forms of whatever we feel like that could also do our bidding.
Yeah.
We totally need some tentacle shit up in here.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to really advance our aren't you ultra evolved as a being anyway? Was it the point where the writers went, this isn't sci-fi enough? Or...
Yes. Well, we need to show the physicality of the Doctor. He's not going to wrestle with tentacles.
I mean, I was actually pretty cool with it because it seemed it was like an actual monster.
Tentacle porn.
You know, like Monster of the Week. This was actually a fucking monster of the week.
Agreed. I just don't see how it fits in narratively.
It doesn't. In fact, again, those were the weakest points. Is that I liked the Autons. I liked the Nestine consciousness. Oh, the Nestine, but it seemed undercooked. Like, as an idea, their plan just seemed super undercooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lethbridge Stewart.
Lethbridge Stewart is and remains one of my fave. Also, please can we give him a name? In fact, let's not give him a name. Let's apply a name to him that was given him by one of our listeners. Chris Z. Chris! The Chris Meister. He calls him Bagel. Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. Bagel. Or bagels.
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 Fucking love that.
Is that not the best ever?
Does Chris Zed know Dr. Zed?
No, but those two should meet.
They should meet?
Yeah, and then behold as time and space fold in onto themselves. No. They need to stay apart. That's what they need. Same matter can't occupy the same space.
Less than. Okay, you're spiraling. Pull up, Bonkin.
Either way, great nickname. So, Bagels.
Bagels.
Bagels is fantastic. He's slightly more of a pencil pusher in this one than he has been in prior serials.
Sets up lots of meetings.
It's good. He's moving up in the world. Was he a brigadier the last time we saw him? He wasn't, I think.
I want to say he was, but...
Oh, maybe he was.
I think that was part of the...
Oh, he was a brigadier the second time. The first time he was captain
brigadier
or something.
in invasion, I think.
Okay.
And he, General Scooby.
Yeah, General
Mustachio was awful.
Yeah, he was terrible.
I did quite like the scene where he meets himself at the door, and then, as a quite clearly decorated general of many a campaign,
he just stands
presumably
there.
the Second World War, which is like, oh my god, it's like
he just freezes, lets the thing in, goes, oh well, isn't this amazing? Oh, wait, what?
well, no,
No.
he's also very scared, and it's kind of like, if there's anyone that's going to be scared, it's probably not that fucking dude.
Do you think so?
I mean, like I said, look at the medals on his chest. He probably fought a few campaigns in the Second World War.
Sure.
You know, he might have something to say about it. I'm sure he's faced some of the world's evils already. Looking at you, Nazi Empire.
Okay, complete tangent. There's a line that's said by jumping back a little bit to the autons, or possibly the facsimiles specifically. There's a line which JD uttered on this very same podcast a number of times, and I never got it.
JD? I haven't heard that name in years.
Hi, JD, by the way.
Hi.
He said, on more than one occasion, he went, destroy, destroy, total destruction. And I never got that as a reference. Now I do. Twice in this, yeah.
I like it because it's kind of like, you're there, boom, now I'm a genie.
Now you're gone. Must have left the tent.
Yeah. I dream of genie turns up. Just starts granting wishes all over the place and being all sexy. It's really...
That tent scene is baffling to me.
What is it? Why do any of those things?
Yeah, why do they bring that? Okay, so first of all, it's wonderful when they bring What's His Chops to the tent, and he's super frightened, and they like feed him tea, and he's just like he can't even speak with the unit soldiers. It's wonderful. But then, why is What's His Chops allowed an audience with the Brigadier? A, and B, I think this is what might complete the line that I read to you before you press record. That makes no sense. I think this is what it refers to. Why does the Brigadier...
Whoa, stop there. Read the note out in its entirety to Podcast Land.
Okay, this is a note from my phone. Why the shit would then bring Doc, Sexy McNerdface, and Ransom?
I like the and ransom.
Thank you, predictive texting. So I think what this refers to is, why does the Brigadier bring the Doctor and, as in my note, Sexy McNerdface, i.e., what's her face, Liz Shaw?
Oh, God.
Dr. Liz Shaw.
Dr. Liz Shaw.
Why does he bring Dr. Liz Shaw and the Doctor to the tent to speak with... Ransom must be the name of What's His Chop. Why? They were on their way to the factory at that point. Do you remember this?
Maybe he alerted. Maybe there's some off-screen stuff where he alerted people to say, don't go there, it's crazy. There's, plastic men firing guns out of their hands.
I don't know.
I quite liked the escape from the... I didn't understand...
total tangent.
I forget what that fucking dude's name is.
Which dude?
The dude that worked there, lived in New York, came back, got fired.
Isn't that Hibbert?
No, Hibbert is the guy that fires him.
No, it's not Scovey. Scovey's the general. Oh, shit.
So we've got Channing Tatum,
Yeah.
who is a Nestine...
something
right?
facsimile.
Then there's Hibbert, who is controlled. He's got something on the back of his neck. Right?
He's been brainwashed.
Yeah. And then
Has he got something on the back of his neck?
He keeps touching the back of his head.
I think that's just like, that's where my brain is.
Cool, okay, let's just move on. And then there's a third guy who comes back and says,
Yes.
why have you replaced everyone?
Exactly,
What
yeah,
are you doing? And gets
the guy
fired. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Now-
the guy who's asking too many questions.
Now, if my employer... and I
Isn't that
presume-
What's His Chops? That's Ransom.
Is that his fucking name?
Isn't that his name?
It's got to be a cast here somewhere. Come on, do the thing. Can't be his name.
I bet you it's either that or whatever the iPhone
Who's
changes.
Seeley?
What? You're making this up. Who's
I've got
Seeley?
Seeley, Mullins, Captain Munro, Dr. Henderson, nurse, corporal for something or other,
Skin.
officer, technician, Wagstaff,
Wagstaff.
second reporter.
That's
Who
a
are
great
these people.
Wagstaff is one of my new favorite names. Corporal Wagstaff.
Who's Seeley?
I don't know. Find the thing. What are we talking about?
I don't know. Okay.
Okay, well,
Let's
so
just
that
move
guy.
on.
Let's
That
call
guy,
him
that
What's
guy.
His Chops.
What's his chops? Ransom Seeley.
Yeah.
Wagstaff.
Yeah. What about him? What about him?
I'm just saying.
The guy who gets evaporated in the tent.
No, yeah.
That
He
is
gets
him, isn't
evaporated,
it?
Yeah. So I've just been fired. After a lengthy service in New York, I come back to Oxford and my employer fires me.
Yeah. You're going to break into your old...
To see what's
workplace,
going
right?
on. No, I'm like, fuck you, give me my severance, I'm out of this bitch.
No, but he's not getting paid. He's not getting a golden parachute. He's basically just being cut out of the loop entirely after he and what's-his-face, Hibbert, had like this idea that would revolutionize the puppet industry.
I would still give a shit. I would still be like, fuck y'all. Do you know what? I'm gonna start writing that novel I've always talked about.
Okay, so what about is this just a coincidence that they have set up shop in a children's puppet factory? Is that a coincidence? Because the plastic isn't the same, the autons clearly aren't built in the same way, and also, why is this puppet factory furnishing Madame Tussauds with, like,
they're not
statues?
Firstly, not puppets. Dolls.
Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
they do. You know those creepy dolls with the eyes closed?
Oh, yeah. We even get to see the scene where they manufacture them. Ugh, gross. Keeping all of that.
Really glad that this is an adult rating on iTunes. No, I'm perfectly fine with that as an idea. If what you need is a cover, what I don't really understand.
Wait, why do you need that specific? Why aren't they like in the back of a bakery or?
Well, because you need the plastic cover.
Yeah, dildo factory. Wait, they don't need it's a completely different kind.
Yeah, but you need someone to, with an untrained eye, look at that and go, oh, that's plastic, cool.
Oh, so wait, so if they have autons just standing around, people are going to go, oh, I bet they make mannequins.
Maybe, but what I don't, I guess so. What I don't understand, here it's threefold.
Okay.
So Madame Tussauds is prevalent on the idea.
So wax museum. Wax. Not plastic museum.
But I'll take the idea that they experimented something new doing.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't understand is why do you need a decorated 4-star general to come and inspect your baby doll facility? And Madame Tussauds fucking depository.
He doesn't go there like, oh, well, I need to see the state of this this nation's dolls. He goes there to see what his replica looks like, or possibly to make a casting of his face.
Again, that at the time, again, led me to be like, who is this? Is this Charles Montgomery, George S. Patton, Eisenhower? Who the fuck is this guy?
He must be at that level. Must be. Otherwise, people would go to Madame Tussauds and go, I don't know who that guy is.
I gotta tell you, people didn't give a shit at the time for those, 4-star generals that I just mentioned.
On the other hand, you know what? Wasn't there a throwaway line in which, from Liz Shaw, I think, when Liz and the Dockmeister are in Madame Tussauds, doesn't she say something like, why is it just like governmental middle management?
She says, no. First she says, oh, they're all civil servants. I recognise some of these people, high-ranking civil servants.
Okay, she does say high-ranking.
And then she goes, but they're all governmental. Where are the astronauts? Where are the other people of note? I was like,
Madame Tussauds is more than just one room, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Madame Tussauds is way more than is. If you can give me, if there is one civil servant in Madame Tussauds. Just one.
But that's my point. Maybe, the Nestine have been doing this, right? They're running, you know what? This is it. Okay, hang on. I just Sherlocked it. Check this out. Madame Tussauds.
No one needs that as a verb.
Madame Tussauds is like, I know our reputation rests on us having wax statues. We're going to branch out. Fuck that shit. It's a new dawn. It's a new age. We're going to have plastic replicas now. Who better to do that? Doll factory. Great.
Cool.
Then they get infiltrated by the Nestine, and the Nestine, slowly but surely, they are Madame Tussauds. Madame Tussauds.
Is the Nestine consciousness?
Yeah, no, Madame Tussauds, Madame, Mildred Tussauds is walking around. It's the most French name I could think of at the time. I was thinking of old people's names. Okay, fine. Agatha Tussauds is walking around. It's like, I'm a Nestine. I can do whatever I want with this museum. I'm going to populate it with who makes sense for my military conquest strategy.
Yes. I feel like ticket sales might suffer.
Plummets? Clearly not, because that place business was a booming.
Dr. Liz Shaw was like, where are the astronauts? Like, how many astronauts had Britain had in the 70s?
Madame Tussauds isn't just British, though.
That's true. But that one was.
They would have had Gagarin.
Yeah. Yuri Gagarin. And then dudes on the moon. Cool.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah. No. Well, but the other sort of point was, why didn't someone go, where are the Beatles? Should we do the Beatles?
Yeah, should we do anyone we recognise? By the way, that would have made... That's a great reference, actually. Because the Beatles continuously wanted to be on Doctor Who and continually attempted to be on Doctor Who.
Is that right?
Yeah. And they featured twice. Once they featured in... hang on. Oh, it's not going to be it again, is it? The Chase, in which... God damn
The
it.
fucking Beatles in the Chase.
Yeah.
Which
So-
ones?
There's a scene in which Hartnell turns a knob on his space-time visualizer, and he comes up with a Beatles gig, Top of the Pops.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then...
What were they playing?
Can't remember. Paperback Writer? No, I don't know. Oh, wait. They play Paperback Writer in the second one, in which we don't see them. They're heard on the radio in the Faceless Ones, I think, in a bar. We hear Paperback Writer. I mean, they really wanted to be on the show. They desperately wanted to be on the show because they were huge fans. You're right. This is where they could have done it. They could have played. They could have pretended to be wax statues of themselves.
That is taking a clear half point off this episode.
Yeah. That would have been so much cooler. Anyway.
Fuck!
Okay. Okay. I have another question for you about the whole copying the general thing. So in my notes, I've got this. Did they really need to copy the general to take a phone call?
No, they could have done it like Terminator 2.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of what he does, though? I mean, at one point, he's leading unit soldiers, but he's only leading unit soldiers when they're on the defense.
Yeah. Although, he's not actually... He's using regular army soldiers, I think.
Oh, right. Okay.
And
fine.
then, also, at one point, the Brigadier... This is completely tangential. Because just when the Autons are going batshit crazy and literally murdering everyone, which, by the way, was chilling as fuck.
Oh God, yes. There
may
were
not
so
sleep.
many. There were so many scenes in this serial that were not child friendly.
That was like, okay, we're just going to murder everyone. All these people at this bus stop. I'm glad you've lined up for me.
Yeah, no. Okay, compare that scene with the equivalent scene in Rose, Eccleston's first episode. This wins hands down.
Not even a fucking.
This is so much better.
That fucking Bobby, which again, another thing that struck me in the 70s, why the Bobbies have to wear just like dress shoes? Like, it's just not conducive for running. Anyway, so everyone's fucking dying.
Yeah.
I've forgotten where I'm going with this. Hold on. Brigadier left ship.
Right, bingo bongo.
So he get murdered left, right, and he takes a phone call. He's like, well, call the policeman. Or call the army. That's you. That's you.
Well, hang on. Your unit, you are a branch of the army that deals specifically in this kind of nonsense.
That's you, motherfucker.
Yeah, go out now. Do your job.
Yeah.
Bagels.
Damn bagels.
Okay. We haven't really talked about the two B plots.
Go.
One of them is the Doctor. I mean, the Doctor regains consciousness, he steals clothes, he steals a car, he just kind of bumbles around.
Wheelchair chase was awesome.
That was so great. When he's got tape over his mouth and everything. It's fantastic. Reminded me of something I saw quite recently. I can't remember, I can't really place it, but it definitely struck a chord. I was like, oh wait, hang on, that was copied recently in something.
Definitely seen that porno.
Yeah. No, that's the end of this serial. But so we've got that B story, and then we've got another B plot with the misogynist's country bumpkin, the poacher who steals one of the Auton balls and clearly beats his wife and just keeps an Auton gonad in his shed.
And he does this thing twice where he says, is there a reward for this? So you know what it is. Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, did I?
Yeah.
I ain't said that. Get the fuck out of my tent.
Yeah. What are you going to do? How are you going to earn this reward? I mean, he has lost from the get-go.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he has a significant amount of screen time.
So, I thought there would be more plot to him.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be like, I don't know, he'd be an Auton.
And the poor wife.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. But his entire contribution was always just like, well, I ain't said that, did I? Maybe I know where one of his space quaffles are. But I ain't fucking telling.
He also has quite a lot of, make me some food, woman. And,
yeah. They're always yapping.
Yeah. Happy now? I can't do the accent.
You're bad at it. I'm going to do the rest of this podcast a little bit like that.
Oh, God.
I shan't. Now, the scene where old lady, farmer lady, shoots him with a shotgun, shoots the Auton. And got me thinking, so shotguns fire out fuckloads of pellets, right? Like, it sort of explodes and...
Yeah. They never get this right, though.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. But and then all the unit soldiers firing a hail of bullets on these Autons and they're indestructible, or they're not. Mm-hmm. So plastic
shatters and
yeah. It might not fucking die because it's not imbued with life, but it does shatter.
But that's another thing. So that's another thing. It's clearly not made of. I mean, it's an alien.
They do say that. They absolutely say this isn't plastic. This is some
Oh, they say that even.
Yeah, they say it's not full of. In fact, before they get into the TARDIS, I think they're trying to say, this is full. Oh no, maybe that's a quaffle.
I think that's when they're.
Quaffle,
yeah, I think that's when they're looking at like there's one gonad that's broken, and he goes like, well, this clearly was spherical once upon a time, like most gonads, and he refers to it as plastic. Not a meteorite, some sort of alien plastic. But that's not what the Autons are made of. Oh, wait, are they?
No, I'm pretty sure they're fucking plastic. I don't know.
Ugh, I feel like they've changed something in the way that... Oh, wait, hang on. Here's another... Oh, wait, okay, so check this out. The scene that we talked about just a moment ago, where the Autons are going down the street just Sylvester Stalloning everyone...
The one person that's owned a gun in history, according to Ponkin.
Yeah, it's Cobra Cabretti all over the place. Left, right, and center. So, were they just Okay, serious question. Serious question, right, dude. Cool. Take this seriously. Were they just mannequins, or were they Auton robots that had been placed in windows just in case?
Second one.
Right, okay. So it's not like in New Who then. Then they've definitely changed the story, the nature of Autons.
I feel like I made the call too quickly. Like I don't really know that for a fact. That just feels right.
But okay, so imagine that a regular mannequin is... Oh, wait, hang on. So here's another thing. They've all got the handgun.
They've all got the handgun.
Yeah, so they're not mannequins. They are...
agents.
Fuck.
They're moles.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sleeper cells.
That's exactly what they are. Stop saying stuff.
That's like my function here.
That to me also insinuates that, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna go all the way back to the whole nesting consciousness plot. Makes no sense to me.
It's real thin.
Yeah.
But Autons are cool.
Autons are great.
Handgun thing is fucking
fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah.
But Channing Tatum was pretty good.
Which one was Channing Tatum again? Tatum Sweaty Old Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sweaty Old Man's great.
And all the Yul Brenners, each one of them were good in their own way.
My favourite Sweaty Old Man moment, by the way, is when he's standing in the phone booth in the hospital, not making a phone call. For the longest time. That is my favourite Sweaty Old Man moment. Anyway, he's running a factory, but he's also just standing around phone booths in the hospital in Epping.
Gotta.
Yeah, why not? Why? Oh, the balls.
Yeah. Epping High Street was the coolest, fucking scene ever. They're full...
Is that the Auton one?
Yeah, those actors and actresses were great at standing still for an incredibly long time and then being menacing as shit.
Yeah, so much better than the new ones. So much better. And it's so very obvious as well. I mean, more obvious than I think it was to me at the time of watching the Eccleston episode. That in the Eccleston episode, in the reboot, I mean, in their minds, I'm sure it was an homage, but they clearly ripped it off. And they did so very poorly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Those were fucking terrifying.
Okay, different question. Actually, if we return to the other B-plot, so the Doctor, he has, for the longest time, he's just doing his own shtick. He has no bearing on the plot whatsoever. He's just kind of getting used to his new body. So he comes out, he's got tan lines. A huge chunk of his storyline is that he wants to escape. He wants to get back to his TARDIS and he wants to leave, and the TARDIS doesn't work. Two questions. First off, what did you think of the key to the TARDIS having a metabolism detector?
I almost text you out of fucking just sheer, what? That's not a thing. Metabolism, what?
No, I thought that was ingenious. I feel like that's what Judge Dredd copied with the Lawmaker, the gun that can only be used by a judge.
It's not a metabolism thing, though.
No,
that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, but it's like, oh, wait, hang on. Do you have two hearts? And also, how quickly do you metabolize, I don't know, Gallifreyan ice cream? Whatever. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It must be very radically different,
thinking
right?
The word metabolism was a stupid fucking thing to say. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but hey.
The Doctor has one cigarette one day and all of a sudden can't get back into his...
The Lawmaker was way cooler.
Bing bong, Judge Dredd's gun was actually called the Lawgiver, not the Lawmaker. Yeah. Bing bong. Well, with the DNA thingy.
So much cooler. Yeah.
Agreed.
Grenade.
Yeah. Double whammy.
Yes.
We're clearly both weirdly thinking of the Sylvester Stallone version.
The better version.
What better than Dredd's?
I mean...
It's definitely more great. Watchable, isn't it? More rewatchable.
Eat recycled food.
Yeah. It's good for the environment and okay for you.
Why is that so good?
So good. Anyway. Anyway, I really enjoyed the metabolism detector. I think you're right. They maybe didn't think that one through very much. But the fact that there is something there that checks who's trying to open the door, super clever.
That goes away in New Who.
It does, doesn't it? You're right.
Got a key, will travel.
You're right. People steal the TARDIS. He gives keys willy-nilly to companions. Yeah. All right, cool. Another thing about Pertwee, by the way, in my notes I've written, he steals clothes, has a tan line, and a tattoo.
There's a tattoo?
Yeah, John Pertwee had a tattoo.
Of what?
I couldn't tell. I think it's on the forearm. I suspect that he was in the army and maybe had I suspect it felt, I got, Sean Connery vibes where he's got his SAS tattoo.
Oh, right.
Even though he's James Bond and shouldn't have one, but he has an SAS tattoo.
Is it the SAS?
Sean Connery has two tattoos. He has one from the SAS, which is what's it called?
The special system.
Yeah, but they have a motto. What is it?
It's
oh shit,
he who dares wins, or some shit like that.
Something like that. Yeah, and the other one, he's got another tattoo that says "For my mum."
Fair.
Bing bong. Actually, they say Scotland forever and mum and dad, but he did get them when he joined the Navy. So, I may have heard the slightly inflated version of that anecdote. All right, back to the show. Bing bong. Yeah, super cool. Such a dude. Anyway, he's also misogynist, so let's not smile at him so much.
Let's not.
Yeah. Anything else you want to bring up here? Oh, I got one more!
Make that the last one.
Okay. This might just be a writing flub, but the Doctor knows that the Autons are called Autons, and this is clearly the first time he's ever encountered them.
Why is it clearly the first time he's ever encountered them?
He does this thorough analysis. He never goes, well, this is clearly an Auton ball, He has to try it out. He goes, maybe
the ball
kind of
is
intelligence.
new, but maybe the Autons aren't. Because apparently they've been colonizing things for 1,000 million years.
No, I guess that does make sense.
Stupid.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Wait, hang on, I do.
We should say
like
1,000 million is an American billion.
Okay, hang on. Wait. Random notes. In the lab, in episode 2, Miss Shaw is using an actual pint glass as a beaker.
Fucking right she is. Dr. Shaw ain't fucking about with her fluids.
I would say not.
How wank was the, fucking electro-shocker nonsense thing?
Oh, that's what I wanted to bring up, actually.
Ultra wank.
Oh, I wanted to bring it up because it reminded me of something that we've seen before in an episode or in a serial that you and I have reviewed, in which one was it? Was it Seeds of Death? Doesn't Troughton build a machine that it looks like he's walking around with two huge hooters? It's basically he's walking around with two satellite dishes, and he points them at Ice Warriors.
That might be right.
I think so. And it also necessitated a power pack. I can't remember if he carried it himself in Seeds of Death. I don't think so. I feel like he got the girl to carry the power pack while he pointed it at things. And in this one, very similar setup. He gets Liz Shaw to carry the power pack, and he's blasting Autons.
Ultra wank.
Uns, actually.
Yeah.
Ultra wank?
Ultra wank.
I liked it.
Ain't bad.
Fine. Entitled to your own opinion, even though it's completely wrong. Super cool. All right. Shall we jump into super quick ratings?
And now it is time to rate this. Did we love or hate this? Bing bong, hey, la 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 la. Ratings.
Go for it.
This was a cool first foray. I'm excited to see where Pertwee takes this. I'm excited to see more of Unit. I'm a little upset that we won't be darting around the universe, and that kind of bothers me. But equally, I think we could probably give a couple of serials to, terrestrial terrors. So I'm going to give this a clear 3.7.
3.7. Nice one. Just a quick response to what you just said there. I don't think it's just a couple of episodes or a couple of serials. I think it's the whole first season.
Well, we'll get to that.
It's a lot.
I would have said it would have been 4.2 if there had been some Beatles.
Nice. Okay. I'm going slightly higher than you. I thought this was a fantastic introduction to a new Doctor. And I don't know if it's all Pertwee or if it's the sudden change to colour or if it's the fact that we don't need to sit and watch a 10-episode arc. We've got a very nicely condensed 4 episodes, which works so well.
Oh, so well.
So well, right? Especially after the last one that we did. The War Games.
3.5 hours.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, boom, 4 episodes. It just felt so much more dynamic and so much just punchier. That being said, by the way, I will ham-fist a bit of trivia into this. The season is way, way shorter. So the last season, or the standard season hitherto, has been 40 to 45 episodes. This one is 26 episodes. Super short, right?
Yeah.
So presumably, this is the kind of tempo that we can look forward to.
That would be good.
Yeah. I think we're going to breeze through Pertwee.
It sounds like it would be much shorter than your review.
Thank you. For everything else that I think of this, please re-listen to this episode, unit, etc., etc. Alien Plot makes no sense. I'm giving this a 4.0 though, because I found it immensely rewatchable. Bingo bongo. Listener minis. We have a metric nut ton of listener minis.
Which might mean that we might have to squeeze them all. Very sorry.
Yeah, these are severely expurgated.
Yeah, super truncated. Definitely go to Who Back When to read the entirety.
Please do. Let's start off with Trenton Bless. Hello, Trenton.
What up, T-Dog?
Trenton says, the production sparkles. Bernard Lodge's fabulous diamond pattern title sequence was aimed to dazzle the few Brits who'd invested in colour television sets. The Doctor looks great in his ruffled shirt and red-lined cloak, a collaboration between Pertwee and designer Christine Rawlins. Dandies were everywhere in late 60s pop culture.
The only disappointment is the lacklustre representation of the Nestine. Its cellophane sphincter twitching behind perspex is decidedly peculiar, and later, the sight of rubber tentacles strangling a boggle-eyed Pertwee always warrants a snigger. 4.0 out of 5.
Wow. Yep.
Not the only time a perspex sphincter has worked its way into listener minis.
Or this living room. Good note about the intro, the title sequence. We didn't talk about this. It's gorgeous. It's the first time that we get to see it in colour, and it looks absolutely spectacular. I mean, compare that to seeing it in colour in New Who. This is so much better, I think. Thank you so much, Trenton. People can follow him on Twitter. Do so. He is at Trenton Bless. And also, quick plug, Trenton has a YouTube channel full of Whovian goodness. Just go to YouTube and search for WrestleMania 489. Bingo bongo.
There have been that many WrestleMania?
Okie dokie. The next one comes from Paul Forber. Hello, Paul.
What's up, P-Dog?
Is that your new thing now? Everyone...
Just this episode.
Everyone gets a rapper name?
Yeah. And it's all dogs and your first initial.
Okie dokie. Paul goes, this serial was shot on film for the first time in colour as the lead actor as well as the regular and supporting cast all changed. John Pertwee became known for portraying the Doctor seriously, but his first 2 episodes were marked by physical comedy. The Brigadier, who was later frequently used for comic relief in this story like Unit, was notably competent and professional. This characterization may be due to the influence of former script editor Derek Sherwin, who created Unit.
He also put the Doctor's banishment into place and gave him Liz Shaw, a scientist with whom he could discuss problems instead of having to constantly explain their details. Future producer Barry Letts took this setup to tweaking and expanding it into one of the most fondly remembered eras of Doctor Who. This 5-year run of serials began with this enjoyable story when introducing the Autons, the Nestines, and a new colourful Doctor.
Awesome. And as per usual, Paul has not given this a rating. Paul, I mean, I am genuinely curious. I need a numerical value, otherwise I can't sleep at night. But thank you so much for sending this in. As per usual, he sent in a magnificent maxi review, so please do go to whobackwhen.com and check it out in its full splendour. In the meantime, you can also high-five him online. He is at Wordsmith Paul. Thanks, Paul. Next up, we've got Stephen. Stephen.
What's up, S-Dog? Pertwee is a charmer as the Doctor, a suave gentleman, very unlike his predecessors. He's also a bit of a dick at times, which I know Ponkum will like.
Oh yes, he knows me very well, Stephen does.
I have only ever seen about half of the Liz Shaw stories, but I always appreciate seeing a companion who's competent at what they do, so that wins me over with her.
For the serial itself, Stephen continues, I feel compelled to give props to whoever did the makeup, particularly for the Auton copies like the fake general or that secretary in episode 1. They had a plasticness to their faces and expressions that I thought was a good touch and sold the plastic double angle nicely.
I'm giving a rating of 3.9 for Spearhead in Space, losing a decimal or two simply for 1,000 million.
Yes! Vindicated.
Smashed it, S-Dog.
awesome. Really good mini. Again, this is but part of it. S-Gamer is on Twitter. I bet every single member of Podcastland is already following him, but if for some reason there's someone out there who isn't yet, please do. He is at SGamer82. That's 82, the number. Next up, we have a newbie, John Roby. Hello, John. Welcome to the club.
John Bon Roby.
Johnny Robes.
J-Dog.
Actually, I think John Bon Roby is the best one.
John Bon Roby. You've probably never heard that, John. I'm sorry if that has a horrible connotation for you. We love John Bon Jovi, and by extension, love you.
Well, John has included, in addition to a mini, he's included a couple of bullet point lists. One is the good, and the other is the less good. Let's blitz through these, shall we? The good. Pertwee, what was up with that shower scene?
The Brigadier and Unit.
The shifty poacher and his shrewish wife.
The wheelchair escape was hilarious, and even if Pertwee hated it.
The Auton's design is extremely simple and extremely creepy. It hits the uncanny valley even more effectively than the Nuhu Autons from Rose.
The visuals. Beyond just being beautiful in colour, the camera work is much more dynamic, even though going handheld in a couple of scenes. The serial just looks great.
Nice one. And then the less good. The army shoots the doctor for trying to escape from a hospital, but later are happy to let him, as far as they know, kill General Scobie with a weird device.
Lee Shaw is over the top acerbic, though if I were an attractive female scientist in 1970, I'd probably be pretty over dealing with men and their bullshit too. Fair.
Yeah. 2 episodes where nothing happens except a poacher arguing with his wife.
The perfect form to conquer the Earth. What the Nestines evolved was a plastic sphincter. What the fuck?
Again, with the sphincters. I seem like we were all on the same page with this one. Quibbles aside, he says, I loved this serial. Final score, 7.6 out of 10.
And I'm not great at maths, so that makes it, 3.8 out of 5?
3.8. You can high-five John on Twitter as well. I know I will be after this review. He is at jroby_1970.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Bingo bongo. We've got one more. This one comes from Chris Zarella, the man who invented bagel.
Whoa. That sounds like he invented bagel. He coined.
So Chris was a baker. And he needed a way to wrap bread around his fingers.
And he thought, instead of baking, let's boil this. No, he was the genius that coined...
Progenitor.
Bagel.
Is that a word?
Yeah, why not?
I think so. Progenitor? I feel like I'm missing a syllable somewhere.
Drew would help this shit out.
Bing bong. Progenitor. Bing bong.
But yeah, he coined Brigadier...
Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. He calls him Bagel. I feel like it's bagels.
No, bagel.
Bagel.
I don't
Stewart.
know.
What about the Stewart, man?
Chris gets to say whatever the fuck he likes.
That's true. Well, I think Chris gets the credit for this regardless.
Sea dog. Which sounds like a dog that goes out to sea. Like a type of fish. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Sea dog.
Isn't a sea dog just the opposite of a landlubber?
That's true. An old salty sea dog.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Chris Zarella goes, first impressions. The Third Doctor is an arsehole and arrogant and lacks empathy.
He treats Dr. Liz Shaw like shit, calls her Ms. when she's a doctor and deserves that title, and cuts her off when she's telling Bagel what was going on in episode 4.
If it wasn't for the twin dilemma with Colin Baker, I'd call this the worst introduction to a doctor. I miss Troughton. Oh, very interesting.
Enough complaining. This serial is fairly good. We get more Time Lord lore. Say that 3 times fast. He has 2 hearts, weird blood, and sometimes the regeneration goes funky and he needs to pass out for a while. This creates the trope of MDs not knowing what to do with him. He also gets the trope of the Doctor looking at himself in a mirror after regeneration.
And Story gets a 3.8. The Third Doctor gets a 2.0 for being an ass. I average it as 2.9 and throw in an extra point for the production team having Doc and Shaw, aka DS, hiding in episode 4 behind a curtain instead of Vord hiding as we've come to expect. Total 3.0. Also, excellent use of the term Vord hiding. Well done, Chris.
You get a 5.0.
Unfortunately, Chris is not on Twitter, but you can high-five him if you meet him.
High five everyone you meet until you get to Chris.
I think that's how it works. Bing Bong, Future Ponkin here. We received another couple of mini reviews 1 or 2 weeks. When did we record this review? I can't remember. I think about 2 weeks ago. Anyway, we received some after that fact. and as I've just finished editing and I'm about to drop this episode today, I figured why not include them here as well. Going forward though, I will say, we do tend to drop episodes on Sundays. We're not very good at announcing in advance which episode we're dropping when, but we'll try to get better at that. We drop episodes on Sundays, and I think henceforth we're probably going to have like a week ahead of that as the deadline for listener minis. Okie dokie, here we go. So first off, this one comes from Grant. Grant! Grant goes, "Hi guys, long-time lurker, first-time reviewer. Breaking his usual habit of posting after a podcast is released. So, yeah, Spearhead from space. The TARDIS somehow transports the Doctor into the X-Files for the next couple of years. A fantastic opener with a great new Doctor who has instant chemistry with his new companions, the Brigadier and Liz Shaw. Anyway, a few bits of obscure trivia of no relevance whatsoever." Great, I'm looking forward to this one. "If you look closely when the Doctor is taking a shower, you can see a tattoo of a snake on John Pertwee's forearm. This is the result of a drunken misadventure Pertwee had during his time in the Navy during the Second World War, which led to him waking up very hungover with a tattoo he had no memory of getting." Wow. Amazing. Okay. Speaking of the shower scene, the Doctor can be heard humming La Donna è mobile from Rigoletto by Verdi. Interestingly, the 11th Doctor hums the same song whilst taking a shower in the loggia. What? No way. That's fantastic. Okay, I'm really looking forward to getting to that. Grant goes on, "This is also the first serial to mention that the Doctor has two hearts. Correctamundo. Anyway, this story is a cracking opener and a real favourite of mine, and he gives it 10 out of 10, which translates to 5 out of 5 for us. Saying lots of love, Grant, a.k.a. Rudolph." Sure, why not? Thank you very much, Grant/Rudolph. Awesome mini review. And next up, this one actually came in just yesterday. This one's from Alan Trussler. "Gallifreyan Buccaneer." Whoa, a long time no see, Alan. Hope all is well. Alan goes, "Dear Ponket & Co. Mini. Spearhead from Space is still one of my favourite Who stories ever, and it's easily the best first story for any classic Doctor. I mean, Power of the Daleks is great, but does it have John Pertwee in a high-speed wheelchair chase? I thought not." That's a very fair point. "Best thing about the episode, and it's a hard choice as everything is superb, has to be the chemistry between the Doctor and Liz, one of the best companion Doctor duos, due in part here to Holmes's sparky dialogue. Shame they only had a season. The Autons are creepy, the Nestine is hilarious, and the new Blu-ray looks gorgeous. I'd give it a 4.8 out of 5. And the Buccaneer himself says, as a little PS, long time no speak, still listening even if I can't contribute. Keep up the good work, chaps. Thank you very much. It's very reassuring to know that you're still out there somewhere, Alan. Awesome. Thanks for sending this in. Really nice to see that there's a bit of overlap in opinions here. Grant and Alan both tackling the chemistry. Awesome stuff. Okie dokie, I'm going to let you fine people of podcast land jump back to the show now. Ciao. I mean, bing bong. Thank you so much for listening to this review. Next review we're dropping is going to be a new Who review. That's going to be The Unicorn and the Wasp. Nice one. After that, we're going to go back to classic Who with
Doctor Who and the Silurians.
How do you feel about a title having Doctor Who in it?
So that bugs me out. And B, this is a great example of what I was talking about earlier, where it just completely fucking blows its load.
Yeah.
Way early.
Yeah.
There is a middle ground.
Either way, we look forward to reviewing both of those episodes / serials. People can follow you on Twitter, can they not?
Can, at Nicolele.
Fantastic.
It's mostly just being sad about Trump.
You can follow me as well. I'm at Ponkin. You know how to spell that. Thank you so much for listening. Be rad and excellent to each other. Catch you in the next one. Rock on and ciao.
Bye.
Kablamo! Did you enjoy the show? Then please do what the cosmos compels you to and spread the gospel of Who Back When. Tell your friends. Don't have any friends? No problemo. Tell some strangers. Like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Who Back When. All in one word. Are you on Google+? Then find us on Google+. That's plus Who Back When. And when you do, tell us why you're on Google+. Who Back When just got its very own Twitter account. No lie. So give us a follow. You guessed it. That's @Who Back When. All in one word. Check us out on SoundCloud, vote us up on Reddit, listen to us on Stitcher, and head on over to our website, whobackwhen.com, where you can leave a comment, submit a review of your own, and peruse our visual index of aliens, monsters, and more, which increases in kablamos with every episode. And lastly, give us a rating and review on iTunes. Not only would it make us super chuffed, and it really, really would, but as thanks, we will transmigrate your iTunes nom de plume into the credit list of trailers for fake Doctor Who audiobooks produced by Who Back When. Have a poke around our bonus episodes to make more sense of that. That's it. Rock on and be rad and excellent to each other. Catch your earballs in our next classic Who review, new Who review, or, still funny, audio Who review. Ciao.
Who Back When?